Today's tips are coming from AAA, and we're talking about electric cars, hybrids, all of that. Before we do that, though, what do you think about that gas prices? You know, I had to say that. I got gas for $2.99. One of our producers got it for $2.94.
Oh, yeah. And in Shelbyville last weekend, my husband got it for $2.80.
Crazy.
So, I mean, it's been coming down, and we're trying to analyze, and everyone says, why is it coming down? Well, we've switched to winter blend gasoline, which is cheaper, and demand has been lower this year than last year, and the price of crude oil continues to fall. The Middle East tensions always make that an uncertainty, but right now the market seems to think that those tensions have eased a bit, so that impacts crude oil prices as well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just like, I'm just going to enjoy it while it is.
Enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it while it is. And as we talk about that, we're talking about electric cars, which have been getting a lot of attention lately. We have done stories where they have said at some point we're all going to have to get electric cars. Do you think that'll be in our lifetime?
I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime. In certain parts of the country, you might see an electric vehicle for every 2 or 3 gas-powered vehicles. My oldest daughter lives in California. Out there, you see EVs everywhere. They're also paying over $5 a gallon for gasoline.
Whoa.
So it makes sense there. And they have the charging capabilities, the charging stations. In Texas, kind of the same thing. When you come to this side of the country, they're not necessarily as prevalent, and the main reason people are shying away from EVs is because of the lack of charging stations, or the cost to put one in your home it's expensive. So hybrids, in our latest vehicle study, hybrids are what people are choosing when they want to get away from completely gas-powered vehicles.
I think, and maybe not, but I think most of us want the world to be cleaner.
Of course.
We want to do what's best for our neighbors,
right?
And for every living thing on the planet. On the planet, I know I do.
Sure.
But then I think I'm going to tell you, it scares me to get an electric car because I don't want to be in an electric car and it goes dead and I can't power it. You know, if you can't power that thing, oh my goodness, what do you do?
One of our automotive guys was telling me not too long ago that we can pick them up on the side of the EVs on the side of the road, but what happens is it has a reserve charge. It lets you know when you're getting low, and there's a reserve charge in there so you have enough to get to a charging station or get home.
You have to find a charging station, Linda.
Well, people use that reserve charge, and then they run out by the roadside and they're stranded. So the only way to get them is to put them on a flatbed and tow them into a charging station. So if you have a hybrid, you're not fighting that complete dependence on electricity. You have gasoline and electricity, and that's what we're seeing. Americans are concerned about the environment, and EVs are going with an electric vehicle. The environment is one of the main reasons people go with electric vehicles. Sure. But hybrids allow you to be environmentally conscious and also not be totally dependent on electricity.
It's so funny. I had an event the other day, but I was late and I couldn't stop and get gas, so I had to just take my chances, and my gas light was on.
Were you on fumes?
Oh, I was beyond fumes. So I drove from my house to the event on a red light, and my parents were there, and I was like, I have no gas. I drove here on a red light. My dad was like, how are you going to get to the gas station? And so they followed me to make sure
you didn't run out.
You got to love parents. You have got to love
Amen.
What are the cost differences?
EVs are typically a little more expensive. Now, you also have to factor in you're going to save on fuel costs because they're electric. And hybrids, the same thing. It's interesting, in our latest car guide, the cost of owning a vehicle, not the sticker price, but the cost of owning a vehicle is over $12,000 a year. So $1,000 a month just to own a car. That includes the purchase price, financing, depreciation, which is a big thing, and insurance and taxes.
As soon as you drive
off the lot. Yes. So EVs have a high depreciation rate. Hybrids, not as high a depreciation rate. So it really depends on where you want to put your emphasis. But before you buy any new car, which, by the way, the average price of a new vehicle in 2024 is $38,800. That's up over last year. So you really want to do your homework because you've got to take so many factors into consideration.
So if I get a charging, what they call a charging station in my home, what's that do to my electric bill in my home? What does that mean? What are we talking about?
It will make your electric bill higher, but
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Electric bill higher.
Well, it's gonna
like
be-
my electric bill is already, I don't know, 100 some odd, 200
well,
some
you're
odd
charging a
dollars.
vehicle.
That's what I want to know. Is my electric bill going to be $400? What's my electric bill
we need
going
to
to
call
be?
LG. I will tell you, the average charge for an EV is 257 miles. And on average, we drive about 30 miles a day. So,
Oh, I don't know who that is that drives 30 miles a day.
well, that's average.
Live my life.
That's average.
Yeah,
So
live my
some more,
life.
some less.
Yeah, I drive way more than
And, you know,
that.
more people work from home now, so they're not driving as much.
Yeah.
But again, you're going to save on fuel costs. You just have to talk to a contractor and find out, A, how much is it going to cost me to have that charging station installed, and then do some investigating on what it's going to do to your power bill.
I took my car in to get service, and my people said, "Mister, what else do you do? What do you do?" How do you find the charging station, though, if you're out? How is that going to happen? And then I guess you have to pay for them because here, even in the city of Louisville, they have these charging stations. They were going to be put in, and you would be able to get them for free. The city was going to pay for the charging, which means I would be paying for you to charge your car.
Right.
That blew up. Now that's not going to happen. So I guess we pay for the charging. How do you find them?
You can go online and search LouisvilleKY.gov. I was there on that site last night, and it will tell you where chargers are located around the city. The other thing you can do is on the AAA app, you can do a triptych if you're planning on traveling, and in that triptych, you let them know that you have an EV, and it will plan your route accordingly so that you can charge along the way. So we do see more and more people having a need for that information. And now AAA is providing that through Triptych and our app, because that's the apprehension of traveling in an electric
Would
vehicle.
you feel safe traveling in an electric vehicle if it wasn't a hybrid?
I don't know.
That's not fair for me to ask you that.
Well, no, but I will be brutally honest with you. I mean, I haven't gotten to that point in my life yet because of charging issues. There's not enough
not
chargers.
enough, yeah.
But I would be totally open to a hybrid. Totally.
All right. I know that we can, you all have resources where you talk about hybrids if people are thinking about
Yes.
purchasing one. So
Yes.
they can-
AAA puts out a car guide every year.
Okay.
And now there is a very detailed section in that car guide about electric vehicles and hybrids. So you can just search AAA Car Guide 2024. We also have a site called EV 101.
Okay.
And that answers all of the kinds of questions that you and I have been talking about today. AAA.com/EV 101.
All right. I thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope I didn't ask you any crazy questions there, but we just
I
want
always
to know.
tell you that ahead of time.
No.
Don't do that.
I appreciate you.